Hello again, I'm Lando Calrissian. Tonight, I'm in a bit of a situation. I come to you from one of my many storage lockers across the galaxy. I was collecting one of my special occasion capes for a rendezvous when the door shut behind me and locked me in. This reminds me of a job a long time ago in the galaxy. Maybe if I tell you that story, someone will hear me and let me out. The Calrissian Chronicles, Chapter 85. When I arrived back on Coruscant after my naked escapades on Palachia, I was met on the landing pad by an old friend of my father, Planetary Security Commissioner Irvin Vavavoom. Sensors in my nipples were on high alert, and it looked like my days of freedom were over. Irvin's all too familiar smirk told me he was aware of my goings-on. His own quivering lips were too smitten to hide his delight. His hand outstretched to receive a bribe before I'd even gotten out of my captain's chair. What a prick. Irvin always knew what he wanted and would stop at nothing to get it. He had a favor to ask, a big favor. One that would change everything. To take his daughter as my smuggler apprentice. Her name was Deanna, and she was already a member of a sleazy criminal organization, the Gamorrean Union, a nasty bunch of dipshits. They're not exactly known for their cleverness. They operated the local goblin markets. Terrible sites of counterfeit smut and Wookiee snuff films. If you want to read about them, download Deep in the Goblin Hole by Del Delgado, Chapter 107 on Goblin Markets. Use my HoloNet coupon code Little Lando for 10% off. Oh, this AI. Deanna was not your typical criminal type. She was cute and only a year older than me. We'd known each other since childhood. Back then, she'd say odd things. I'm a bad girl, Daddy. I go down like a storm-smashing tatted cove. I'd reply, go down where? The ship doesn't have a basement. Anywho, our first big job was to smuggle a shipment of black market Tehar out of Mandalore. We needed a code name for the operation because code names are cool. Deanna suggested Tasty Flux, because boys love me for my appetizing flavor and my blonde hair, she said. I do the stealing while Deanna distracted the guards with her big boobs. Damn it! That was her specialty and the key to getting things done on Mandalore. It's canon, apparently. This mission went horribly. The two unpleasant goons we'd hired stole our credits, cargo, and our ship while Deanna was showing her remarkable jiggly parts to the guards' suspiciously horny eyes. But the Tehar was owed to the Black Sun, oh Raven. And now we owed them, which meant we were fucked. So we took to a local cantina to drown our sorrows, flirted with some local boys. I was being fondled by a local barista, wondering what to do next. We needed a ship, so I called Irvin to help us. I wired him the funds and a list of the best guns for hire in the region. I've been inside all of them, he said. So have I replied. He was pleased with himself, and so was I. Lando. Irvin and the crew arrived the following day. Later, I was in a maintenance cupboard collecting a change of clothes when I found a hidden container of credits and some of the Tehar from Operation Tasty Flux. I barely had a moment to catch my breath when an explosion shook the ship, sending it into lockdown. Every door barricaded and I was trapped in the maintenance cupboard. I was alone with my inner goddess. Oh no. I could hear blaster fire. We were being boarded. It was the Black Sun. I decided it was best to shut the fuck up and resign myself to the guilt of having brought Deanna with me. What would they do with her? Through a slit in the cupboard door, I could see my crew marched into the cargo hold. I remained quiet. I like to watch. I could see Deanna sitting in the corner of the hold, eating snacks from a fruit crate. Irvin was amongst the crew. Why were they both so calm? Irvin suggested handing me over to the Black Sun. Deanna asked, "So what do we do with this ragtag bunch?" "They double-crossed me, those bastards." Irvin raised his arms and he slicked his hair. As he slicked his hair back, the gold tassels of his jacket waved. "They'll join the Black Sun as repayment," he said. He looked at Deanna, then to the crew. I could feel myself getting pissed off. Then I heard a gun cock and Deanna shot Irvin. He fell in a heap. A double cross. How unexpected. "Come out, Lando." Her eyes were cold as she looked around. She shot the remaining crew too, which seemed unnecessarily violent. I had to give myself up. "I would, but I'm trapped in the maintenance cupboard," I yelled back. Deanna unlocked the door. "Good to see you aren't afraid of strong gals, even ones loyal to the Black Sun." She stepped over Irvin and pushed me against the door. Irvin wasn't dead yet. He was rolling around the deck, in and out of consciousness, a hot stream of blood running from his chest. "I get it," I told Deanna. "A good smuggler will fight dirty when they're up against the Black Sun," I said. She squeezed my crotch. "Your great-great-great-great-great-great-great-grandfather was a notorious whore. I don't want to kill you. Not yet. But I'll tear out your scumbag throat and stuff it in your underwear if you don't make a baby with me." What is wrong with this AI? Plot twist. Who's writing this thing? Yeah. The sight of Irvin was unnerving. Could I give Deanna what she demanded in front of her dad? I'd have to lose my inhibitions to give her a baby. "You want a grandchild?" Deanna yelled at Irvin, who screamed as Deanna yanked him by his beard. "I've been doing my research. Looks like Lando's great-great-great-great-great-great-grandfather was a whore. Now Lando is going to give it to me." I felt myself blush. Irvin would die watching me do the duty to his favorite child. How awkward. His body flailed as he tried his best not to watch his sexy daughter ravage me. Pools of blood oozed from his throat. It wasn't the sexiest thing I'd ever seen. It wasn't least sexy either. Deanna was kissing me all over my face, smearing blood on me with her lips. Her mouth opened. Her tongue fell over mine. Her breath Her breath smelled like chicken. Irvin groaned as I felt Deanna's hand rolling my sabak. Irvin groaned as I felt Deanna's hand rolling my sabak dice. "Lando! Hey, Lando!" Irvin blurted out. "I'm okay with this. It's time for you to let go and give me a grandchild. Maybe I shouldn't have pressured her about it, but it's my dying wish." Deanna slid her body onto mine and the mating ritual began. She was riding me so hard the floor got soaked. I held onto her tight so as not to fall. "You're about to find out why they call me El Gato." "You're about to find out why they call me El Gato," I told her. "I'm the rabbit," she roared. "What? I'm the rabbit," she roared. "I'm a Sorokin Robin Hood," I yelled. We went at it like animals in heat. The passion was out of control. "Look at this pussy, lover." Oh boy. Deanna laughed as she showed me she could pat her head and rub her stomach at the same time. "Do you love it?" she asked, as her soft flesh engulfed my spongy part. I stared at Irvin squarely in the eyes. That traitorous prick. Irvin let out one last gasp, and his body went slack. As the mating ritual neared completion, I let out a primal scream. I tried to stand but slipped backwards into the pool of love on the deck. Deanna landed on top of me and continued to ride. "Yeah! Yeah! Yeah!" Deanna shouted, but I was worn out like a dog's chew toy. The Black Sun tribe cheered and threw credits at our feet. They'd been watching the whole time. Deanna and I stood and took a bow. The clapping became a standing ovation. We bowed some more. Deanna looked down at her father's corpse, laughing. She seemed pleased. I'm sure there was dirt under my tongue, but I had to ask, what was your plan, Deanna? What was all this about?
I've wanted you since I was 13. I'd kept it a secret for my whole life until Dad found one of my old diaries, she said softly.
I asked her, why didn't you just tell me? Why involve the Black Sun?
Deanna yelled,
You know why, little bitch! Deanna spun back to face me and slapped my neck with her gloves. I tried to turn around, but she grabbed me by the neck and pushed me hard. I spat at her toes as her foot struck my cheek, knocking me out cold. My breath hitched in my chest as I hit the wet floor. When I awoke, I found myself locked in the maintenance cupboard again. A new stack of credits was stuffed in my pants, along with a note that read,
Thanks for the sugar. Lots of love, Deanna.
And that's how I became a whore. Just like my great-great-great-great-great-great-great-grandfather. Deanna's baby grew to become a princess who swore like a sailor. She went on to marry a prince, and they went on to have a son who had a fetish for punching people in the anus. If you wonder why his friends call him Batman, it's because that's his favorite color. That son grew up to become the president of the United States of Utapau, and then promptly invented the notorious and famous poop emoji. Eventually, Deanna became queen of a moon where she spends her days being sprinkled with gold. I see her every now and again for a little reminiscing and thievery. In fact, that's what I'm supposed to be doing right now. But I'm stuck here. I'd better call for help if I don't want to be late. Late for a very important date. Lobot, can you help me? I'm stuck in storage locker J17.
In the closet again? Lando? I'm on my way.
I love Brian.